for his first ever TV interview, please welcome Mike Moore. Hello, Mike. Tremendous to meet you.
Great to meet you, Andrew.
Welcome aboard.
Don't worry, I've got my toothbrush.
Another show, Mike. Another show.
My apologies.
Yes, well, thanks for coming on. Mike, Frontline. The name of the show implies war zones, trouble spots. Have you yourself ever been at the pointy end of danger?
Yes, I was in Dubrovnik about 5 years ago. It was before the war started.
Yes.
Mind you, there was an airline war.
Yes.
That's why I went there. The tickets were so cheap.
Yeah.
But it was shocking, Andrew, to realise that the exact place that I stayed in Dubrovnik, the Pearl of the Adriatic, as we call it in the news business, it was bombed only 2 years after I left. So you're not far away. I remember I did a story in North Queensland, on the cassowary. It's a big bird. It's about yay big and a very sharp beak. It didn't attack me, but the danger was ever present.
I'm just curious because currently Jim Whaley, Richard Carlton, half of Channel 9 News are all in Bosnia, and you, Mike Moore, are here in Australia. I just wonder
Well, that's that airline war again, isn't it? The cheap tickets. But I think that I don't like to speak ill of Jim and Dick. We've got so much in common.
Yes.
We've all at one time walked out on the ABC. Actually, you should come to one of our dinner parties. You'd fit in quite well. But no, I think that... Excuse me, I'll just change expressions. No, it's... No, I probably run out of things to say because I'll just do a few motions and look at you. Yeah.
It's interesting that should happen, that you should run out of things to say, because the gossip about you, and you would have read it, and it's cool, is that you are little more than a hairdo.
Well, I mean, you know, Stuart Littlemore can say what he wants. It's just typical of that pontificating, red wine sipping ABC tryhard that thinks he can say anything just because it's accurate. You know, it's just... It's so typical. I think Ray Martin summed it up best, and I think it was a very intellectual. He got him on the right level. He said, he's bald. And that's the sort of attack that we fight back with. Bald. And if he eats too much, he'll be fat too.
So you don't take it personally at all?
Oh, no, of course not. I mean, I'm a professional. I'm in the game.
Let's get on to some of the issues of journalism which drive journalism today. Checkbook journalism. How much would you pay for an interview with Hugh Grant?
Oh,
Come on, it's a fair question.
Oh, look, I mean, look, the guy's had enough. He's come out and he said, yes, I was in Sirens. I apologise now. I've put it behind me. And I just really feel that, well, I think that we've all had Hugh Grant shoved down our throats, and I just think we're just totally tired of it.
You're a popular man, Mike.
I'm just getting a read on the audience. It's great to be out amongst the people.
Yeah.
See what they look like up close.
Are you impressed by what you see?
Yeah, I saw one of these sort of people on the way out here. But you know, Andrew, the limos have a tinted glass, so you just, you know, you join the dots with the average folk.
Yeah. Do you ever mix with your public at all, Mike?
By accident, occasionally. Well, it's difficult, really.
Yes.
I mean, you know what living on the harbour's like. Most of your boundary is water.
Yeah.
And, you know, I occasionally run into hired help. It's a funny thing. That...
The current affairs battle. The current affairs battle is cutthroat, and all stations are looking for an edge. Now, I'm about to show you something that Channel 7 unveiled this week on Today Tonight in Sydney, and I just want to get your response to this. This is Neil Mercer.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. We all know those car washes full of whirling scrubbing brushes and hot wax that put a gleam on your Duco. Well,
You know what I'm talking about, mate? The polo neck jumper. How are you going to deal with that?
You can't top that.
You can't top
You
it?
can't top that. No, you trumped us. We were thinking about that about 3 months ago. We said, gee, you know, do we go the polo neck? Do we go the skivvy? And it's down to me, my responsibility. I said no. Because technically we didn't know how to mic it.
No,
because the mic had to come up. And we tried it. We had a huge satellite dish to pick up my sound. But, you know, no. And I mean, that just, you know, Andrew, it makes a mockery of people that say Australian current affairs isn't evolving.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 years ago, the chance of a host not wearing a tie, it's something you only would have laughed about.
Yeah, yeah.
And here's a man that comes on and breaks ground like that. I got to hand it to Neil Mercer. He's a great friend of mine, great pal. We were in Dubrovnik together.
Yeah. You're a very generous man. Let's take a look at you, Mike Moore, in action. This is you interviewing Cheryl Kerno, the leader of the Australian Democrats.
I remember this interview.
Of course, yes. You must have mixed feelings when Ros Kelly resigned.
Ros Kelly?
Well, Ros being a woman.
Ros had nothing to do with the Foreign Investment Review Board or the Fairfax inquiry.
No,
You've got the wrong inquiry.
No, of course she didn't. But of course, being a woman, being a sister, of course, you must have great empathy with her.
No.
Well, let's get back to the inquiry, shall we? Is it a big dress-up day when it's released?
No.
What's in your mind the secret to good journalism, Mike?
Oh, gee, there's a question.
Thank you.
I think it's the ability to find the right camera. And is this edited later?
No, I'm afraid this is live. This is actually going out live because it's interesting there with Cheryl Kerno. It seemed to me that you're having difficulties with that interview.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Didn't you?
No. I didn't see... You know what you've fallen for, and it's a trap, and I've seen people do it, is that this cynicism, the tall poppy syndrome, I think, well, let's just let that go through the keeper. But I think it's... What we had is that we had this documentary team from the ABC come in and shoot a series which they called Frontline, and it's shown, I believe, on Monday night at 8 o'clock. And, and it takes you out of context.
Oh, I see.
And so, you know, for the last year or two, I've felt like Nolene Donaher. You know, that Kylie from Weddings. I mean, it's just people walk up to you and they think that that's representing you.
Yeah.
And I think that the folks here tonight have seen that it's not.
So they aren't... Well, I think we'd all agree that Mike's not the airhead we thought he possibly could be.
Good on you, mate.
Yeah, thanks, so, Mike, just relax, it's all right. If you could leave us with a pearl of wisdom for your interviewing style. Our next guest is Tony Pirin. You know Tony Pirin.
I know it would.
Yeah, yeah. Well, what would you ask Tony if you could interview her now?
Well, this is, you know, it hits you, doesn't it? It's
Yeah.
very quick. You've got to be on the ball. You've got to be fast, and or else you've got to be able to stall like I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, what I would say to her, I saw her on the VP celebrations the other night,
Yes.
singing,
Yep.
and I would say, well, you know, classic question like, where were you on VP Day?
She's only 23, Mike.
Well, I mean, they've had VP Day for 50 years now. I mean, she's got to have some memories of it.
I see. So, well, look, I'll keep that question in mind when I talk to Mike. And for you, what's the next big challenge? What's the next big story you'll be breaking?
To just do what I do better. Get to work, I don't know, 10 to 4, maybe. Read the auto cue better. Diction. I mean, it's so easy to mumble these days.
Yeah.
And, I think that you've got to pronounce your T's and dot your I's and mix your metaphors.
Mike, it's been awesome meeting you. A real pleasure. Please thank Mike Moore.
Do you mind?